Hey everybody, it's me, Mario5514, and welcome back to another Splatoon Talk video. In this video, we're going to be looking at some more what-if weapon kits for Splatoon 3. You guys like the last videos that I've done, so I decided to make part 12 for you guys. Keep in mind, these are only what-ifs of what we could have gotten instead of what we currently have in Splatoon 3, so you can say they're concept ideas. And without a further ado, let's get started. First up are the Gloogadoolies Deco. I think Fizzy Bomb and Trizooka would work, as we would only be replacing the sub-weapon, replacing it with Point Sensor and Fizzy Bomb. Not only that, Fizzy Bomb would definitely give it the movement it needs, while allowing it to take the shots that it needs to on the battlefield. So Fizzy Bomb would provide the range as well as the power or damage output, and Trizooka would easily compensate for its range, as its current weapon kit, Point Sensor and Trizooka, is basically a repeat of the Neo Sloshing Machine, which has Point Sensor and Trizooka. So the only thing we would be replacing is the sub-weapon, replacing Point Sensor with Fizzy Bomb. I think this would definitely work a lot better than Point Sensor and Trizooka. So yeah. Next up is the Rapid Blaster. I think Ink Mine and Triple Splashdown would be interesting to see, replacing Triple Ink Strike with Triple Splashdown would be interesting for this weapon, as we're replacing its displacement type special with an aggressive type special. But I don't think Nintendo would add it, even though the Rapid Blaster is in a bad spot, as the Rapid Blaster Deco is used more than the regular model, which the Deco model has Torpedo and Inkjet. So, I mean, it would be interesting, but I don't think Nintendo would add it. It's a shame, but keep in mind, it's only a what-if. Next up is the Sloshing Machine. I think Burst Bomb and Reef Slider would be interesting instead of Fizzy Bomb and Booyah Bomb, even though a lot of people would be saying this is a downgrade. Well, I mean, it is a downgrade, but does Sloshing Machine fit well having Booyah Bomb? Not very likely, and considering the fact that its PFS is 220p, kind of really makes this Forge Splattershot Pro and the Gloogadoolies look better than this weapon. But I mean, Burst Bomb and Reef Slider would be interesting, as you have a sub-weapon that you can combo off of, and the Reef Slider allows you to crash the party, allowing you to watch your opponents run away from the Reef Slider, allowing you and your teammates to move forward without any problems. Next up are the Dark Tetradoolies. I think Autobomb and Crab Tank would be interesting, as its current weapon kit is Autobomb and Reef Slider. I think replacing Reef Slider with Crab Tank would be a lot better, as Reef Slider is it's an aggressive type special, but Crab Tank is an aggressive supportive type special. So it's aggressive and supportive at the same time, as Autobomb allows you to sniff out where your opponents are hiding, and Crab Tank will help you take a aggressive and supportive stance on the battlefield, especially in Anarchy battles, where Crab Tank would be very helpful. And not only that, this actually would work much better than Autobomb and Reef Slider, even though the Dark Tetradoolies does have 4 dodge rolls instead of the 2 dodge rolls that we see with the regular Doolies, and compared to the 1 dodge roll we get with the Dowser Doolies. So yeah, Autobomb and Crab Tank would be a lot better than Autobomb and Reef Slider for the Dark Tetradoolies. And not only that, give the Light Tetradoolies something to compete with, even though its sub-weapon does need an upgrade. Next up is the Big Swig Roller Express. I think Burst Bomb and Inkstorm would be a lot better for the weapon, as this was a weapon kit that someone showed Pro Chara. And yeah, I will side with the person who showed it. Burst Bomb and Inkstorm on a Big Swig would definitely work, as its current weapon kit is Angle Shooter and Inkstorm. And not only that, Angle Shooter is one of the worst subs in the game, so Burst Bomb would definitely give it its have its A game. So yeah, Big Swig Roller Express having Burst Bomb instead of Angle Shooter would definitely give it the A game it needs to dominate, instead of Angle Shooter and Inkstorm. If Nintendo did add it, then Big Swig Roller Express would be looked at in another light. Next up is the Sniper Rider 5H. I think Autobomb and Tent Missiles would work, as we would be replacing the Sprinkler with an Autobomb, but we would also be downgrading its Tacticooler special with Tent Missiles. Even though we do need a little more weapons that have missiles, as the only weapons that have tent missiles are the regular Flingza Roller, the Reflex 450, the Splatana Wiper Deco, and the Goo Tuber, as well as the Paintbrush Novo. So I think Sniper Rider 5H would definitely be interesting to see having Auto Bomb and tent missiles instead of Sprinkler and Tacticooler. I mean, the Sniper Rider basically shares the same weapon kit as the regular Dynamo Roller, but on a weapon that can fire 5 long-range shots compared to 1 long-range shot with any charger. Do I think this would work? Absolutely. Does everyone think it would? I don't think it would. And not only that, Nintendo probably wouldn't add it. But I mean, it would be very interesting in Splatoon 3 instead of Sprinkler and Tacticooler. If you want to use Tacticooler, use the NZAP 85. It's a lot better and more agile. Next up is the Splattershot Nova. I think Burst Bomb and Zipcaster would be a lot better and have a much better story to tell than just Point Sensor and Killer Whale 5.1, as the Anaki Splattershot Nova is the only Nova weapon that people are talking about, as it has Ink Mine and Inkjet. And not only that, Burst Bomb and Zipcaster for the regular Nova would definitely compete with the Anaki variant, and people would be talking about this weapon more in a positive light than in its current position, which is in a bad spot or in a tough spot. Would this work? I would think so. And not only that, Zipcaster would definitely give it more of a supportive edge. Even though Killer Whale 5.1 is supportive, I see Zipcaster working with Splattershot Nova more than Killer Whale 5.1. And Burst Bomb is definitely what it needs to combo off of than just having location effects with the Point Sensor. So in the long run, Burst Bomb and Zipcaster would work much better for this weapon more than its current weapon kit, which is Point Sensor and Killer Whale 5.1. Next up is the Tenatech Splattershot with Splat Bomb and Triple Splashdown. This was a weapon kit my friend Lycan showed me or talked to me about, and I was intrigued about what he told me. Replacing Triple Ink Strike with Triple Splashdown would definitely give it more of an aggressive edge, as like I've mentioned with the Rapid Blaster, Triple Ink Strike is more displacement, while Triple Splashdown is more aggressive. So replacing a displacement type special with an aggressive type special would definitely give it a much needed edge, as he did suggest it on Octoshot, but the Tenatech Splattershot and the Octoshot basically share the same weapon kit, so it doesn't really matter. Would this work? This would definitely be an interesting set for it, and would definitely rival the Splattershot a bit, but the Splattershot is unrivaled with Suction Bomb and Trizooka with its current kit. This would definitely work. I would definitely see this and would use this a lot more with the regular Splattershot. Next up is the Hydra Splatling. I think Auto Bomb and Triple Splashdown would be interesting instead of Auto Bomb and Booyah Bomb, even though a lot of people would say, no, Booyah Bomb is way better than Triple Splashdown. And this would be a throwback to Splatoon 2, as the regular Hydra Splatling had Auto Bomb and Splashdown, but I just don't see people using this as once it had. I don't think people would use this weapon as it once had in Splatoon 2. They probably prefer Auto Bomb and Booyah Bomb more, and I don't blame them. Would it be cool? Yeah, reference-wise and flashback-wise, it would look cool, but in the long term, I don't think it would be very effective. Next up is the regular Blaster. I think Curling Bomb and Crab Tank would work instead of Auto Bomb and Big Bubbler, and giving the Blaster more of an aggressive edge instead of a supportive edge, I think would definitely work a lot better, as Crab Tank would compensate for the Blaster's range, and Curling Bomb gives the Blaster more movement options while being a aggressive type or aggressive supportive type main weapon. Would this work? Absolutely, but I just don't think Nintendo would add it. But I mean, it would be interesting to see on the battlefield. Next up is the Slosher Deco. I think Sprinkler and Crab Tank would be interesting for this weapon, as this would be somewhat of a throwback to Splatoon 2, as the Slosher Deco had Sprinkler and Baller. So giving this thing Sprinkler and Crab Tank would be interesting to see, as it would be the throwback to Splatoon 2, but I don't think people would want to deviate from the Slosher Deco's current kit, which is Angle Shooter and Zipcaster. But I mean, with Sprinkler, you do have, it's like a little mini meat shield from what I've heard from Prochara. And yeah, I do see it as like a mini meat shield if you throw it in front of you while attacking your opponents. And it's basically what it would be used for the most with the .96 Gal. But I mean, for this weapon, Crab Tank would be very powerful in giving it more of an aggressive edge, as the Crab Tank compensates for the Slosher Deco's range, and the Sprinkler would help charge up its special a lot faster than just Angle Shooter. So yeah, this would work, but I just don't think people would want it in the long run. Next up is the Splat Roller. I think Splat Bomb and Reef Slider would be interesting instead of Curling Bomb and Big Bubbler, but I just don't see people just wanting this weapon. But I mean, if Splat Roller got Splat Bomb and Reef Slider instead of Curling Bomb and Big Bubbler, Splat Roller would have very different stories to tell. And not only that, I don't think we've had any rollers in the Splatoon 3 game or in the Splatoon series besides the Tony Kensa Splat Roller that has Splat Bomb. But not only that, Reef Slider would be more aggressive than Big Bubbler, as Big Bubbler is more supportive. But not only that, I see Reef Slider being more of a weapon that you want to use, that you want to deploy, blow it up, and then make your retreat, like we see with the Dark Tetra Dualies. Could this work? I don't think it would. But I mean, it would be interesting to see this roller, see the roller have Reef Slider instead of Curling Bomb and Big Bubbler that it currently has. Next up is the regular Splashmatic. I think Toxic Mist and Inkjet would be interesting to see, as this would be a throwback to Splatoon 2, as it once had Toxic Mist and Inkjet. Toxic Mist allows you to slow your opponents down long enough for you to get close enough, as the Splash does have a very fast firing rate and has perfect firing accuracy, but it does have short range like the NZAP 85. So I think Toxic Mist and Inkjet would work, as this would help give the Splash more of an edge. But I mean, people prefer Burst Bomb and Crab Tank more. But I mean, if Splash did have this kit like it had in Splatoon 2, then yeah, it would definitely rival the Tri-Slosher, as it has Toxic Mist and Inkjet. And yeah, people would use the regular Splash with this kit more than Tri-Slosher, as Tri-Slosher is just meh. It's like, I've seen better. Or it's like, why? But I mean, people prefer Burst Bomb and Crab Tank more, so I can see the bright side on that kit. Next up is the Octobrush. I think Suction Bomb and Super Chump would be interesting, as we can keep the Suction Bomb on there, but replace Zipcaster with Super Chump, allowing you to distract your opponents long enough for you to move in on the enemy's base, splat them where they are, and not only that, just be a pain in the butt like a regular Ink Brush. But Octobrush is slower, but it does have increased damage in its flicking more than the Ink Brush does. So I mean, the Octobrush may be a little slower, but it has more damage behind it. But I just don't see people wanting to use this kit. But I mean, Suction Bomb and Zipcaster is very solid, but if the Octobrush had Suction Bomb and Super Chump, I think people would be using the Octobrush Novo more than the regular Octobrush. Next up is the Custom Goo Tuber. I think Burst Bomb and Tacticooler would be interesting, as Burst Bomb would allow you to combo off of the Goo Tuber's tap shots, and Tacticooler would give him more of an aggressive edge, allowing you to supply a drink to yourself and your teammates while staying as a backline weapon. And yeah, Burst Bomb and Tacticooler would be a lot better than Fizzy Bomb and Ultra Stamp, as it's basically sharing the same weapon kit as the Neo Luna Blaster. And yeah, I think Neo Luna Blaster having Fizzy Bomb and Ultra Stamp is a lot better than using the Custom Goo Tuber, which has the same weapon kit. Do I think people would use this? I think people would use it a lot more because of the Burst Bomb and Tacticooler, but I don't think Nintendo would add it, because the current backline weapon that has Tacticooler is the Snipe Rider 5H. But I mean, it would be interesting to see Burst Bomb and Tacticooler on this weapon and give it more of an aggressive and more of an opportunity to fight next to the regular Goo Tuber, which has Torpedo and Tent Missiles. And finally, we have the Nautilus 47. I think Point Sensor and Crab Tank would be cool on it. I mean, it would be a throwback to Splatoon 2, as the Nautilus 47 had Point Sensor and Baller. So Point Sensor and Crab Tank would be recreation or an updated recreation of what it had in Splatoon 2. But I just don't see people wanting Crab Tank over Inkstorm. But I mean, Crab Tank would be a lot better for Nautilus more than Inkstorm. Inkstorm is not bad, but I mean, Crab Tank would definitely give the Nautilus more of an edge. But I just don't see people using Crab Tank on a Nautilus, even though the Nautilus 79 has Suction Bomb and Triple Splashdown. So giving the Nautilus 47 Crab Tank would definitely rival the Nautilus 79's current weapon kit. And that's it. That is all of the weapon kits that I have for you all. If you guys liked the video, be sure you subscribe and don't forget to leave a like on the video. If you want to see more videos like this, just send a comment below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And until then, stay fresh.